Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back once again with Temur Eldrazi Ramp on the draw, on the play for game one. If I was on the draw, I probably would have kept this. I probably still would have kept this hand. Kozak's Command, Malevolent Rumble, Sowing Mega Spawn, all solid hits here. So this hand is pretty good. Opponent starts with 7, but they're going to reveal. Yeah, so revealing 2 Devours. So it could be the mirror match. The fact they have 2 Devours set up is a bit scary. So we do have to be a bit mindful of that and try and, or at least not really try, just hope and pray that we hit something off the top. Because if we don't and they get to cast a Mega Spawn first, then we are in trouble. I have Ugin, so it looks like it's Eldrazi Tron. Not sure if they play Sowing Mega Spawn or not. There's a tower. No map from the looks of things, that's good. I think I have advantage in this matchup, especially since I'm running more World Breakers now. Ghost Quarter also makes the match interesting. And draw, World Breaker. I think we go Temple. At this point, we have, 6 Soul Lands off the top? Otherwise, we have Ghost Quarter next turn. We'll pass. We had so many good hits off the top from Command, Rumble, Soul Land. Yeah. There's Power Plant. There's Talisman. Alright, let's see. Soul Land. Hey, look at that. Let's take a look at what was exiled. Power Plant, so we will take out another Power Plant. Exile Power Plant and pass. I think 2 back-to-back World Breakers will make this pretty difficult for them to come back. And passing. Hers is mine. And Glaring Flesh Rake. Yes. Draw. Verdant Cat. Well, let us. Oh, I messed up there. One moment. Do I want to play Ghost Quarter? I don't think Ghost Quarter is needed, is it? Probably not. We'll go after the mine. I always like leaving the tower on board. That way if they, for example, grab a map, then it's not as impactful because they'll have to tap the tower. So it's 1 mana less, basically, is the idea. Another tower's fine. And fetch. For Commercial District. Trigger. Mega Spawn top. Yeah, I do not foresee them able to come out on top here. And I will kick a tower. Yeah, I want to say that's GG's. That definitely could have gone a whole lot worse, but I'll take the W. So this is Eldrazi Tron, win for game 1. Bring in Dismember, bring in Consign, cut the return. Though yes, it does kill the Flesh Rake, doesn't do all too much else. You can cut the Bog, and we don't want to cut the Gemstone or Ghost Court. But I think my newest guide says we cut an Emrakul. Let me confirm. On the draw. Right. Bajuka Bog. Devourer. That's right, never mind. I was like, well, Emrakul maybe because they do have Grave Hate, but no, Devour makes more sense because, you know, Devour ain't doing much in this matchup. Alright. There's also maybe an argument for Nature's Claim, but I think this is good. Yeah, I was going through the sideboard guide today, and I realized that I needed to cut Emrakul a lot more in a lot more matchups that have dedicated Grave Hate. What makes this hand good? Green source. So we have 9 hits off the top. I guess 10 hits. We have 2 draws to get to them. We'll keep. And pass. 10 hits, 2 draws. Yeah, definitely a keepable hand. Let's see, what did they exile? Oh, okay, so they are on Sowing Mycospawn. That is good to know, though a little bit scary, I will admit. Draw. Temple. Thought Not Seer is a threat, so we will imprint the Null Drifter, because if they take the Null Drifter, then that makes the lab all that much weaker by comparison. We'll pass. Again, I'd like a green source. Otherwise, a command now, so we have 13 hits off the top. Let's see the Thought Knot. Brain. Okay. Not sure I'm too worried about Brain. They can hit Sowing Mycospawn, hit World Breaker. We don't have Karn. So if they don't realize that, then, I mean, this is pretty slow. Draw. Gemstone. Yeesh. Gemstone, I needed you at the very beginning. I'll hold just in case it's relevant. Tower. Brain target me. What you naming? What's the name? Forest. That would be a move. Emrakul the Promised End. Yes, that's fine. I guess that makes sense why they're most scared of Emrakul. But I feel like Sowing Mycospawn's a bit more of a threat in the grand scheme. Of course, it's not like we can play that right now. That's a Flesh Rake. And passing. Drawing. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7. Is there an argument to holding the Misty Rain right now? Probably. Right now we have 5, 6. We'll hold. End step, of course, we'll grab a Breeding Pool. Yeah, we're not in a good position, I'll tell you what. Comes down to what these last 2 cards are, though. No attacks. Why no attacks? That's weird. The problem is now they could have a Kozilek's command. That's kind of ugly to think about. I'm gonna hold. Sanctum of Ugin, play the Gemstone, and pass. And they know we have the Consign. Okay, so they're just gonna force it. Come on, do it. You coward. You won't. Alright, they are. is a K command. I'll fetch and breeding pool shock and replicate target 1 and target 2. I want to target the Flesh Raker. Oh my god, game. You're killing me here. Alright, we'll hold up the blade to respond. I guess a good question here is, do I want to return the Null Drift? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably not yet. For a KGC, they can grab Liquid Metal is the problem now. Ooh, that could be an issue. Yes. So now we need to deal with KGC. Especially if they go Liquid Metal here. Would be a problem since we have no bodies on board. Yeah, I think it just makes sense to go Liquid Metal Coating, right? Unless they don't have it, which would be weird. Interesting. So that tells me they have Ugin in hand. Yes. That is exactly what that tells me. If that was a Liquid Metal Coating, that makes sense. Distorting Lens tells me everything I need to know in which they have Ugin. So we simply cannot tap our breeding pool at this point in time. We need to hold like our life depends on it, which it does. I'll take 2. What a weird choice. Draw. Well, that makes it interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll play the Sanctum of Ugin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And kick. And I think we go for, I'm tempted to go for a Ghost Quarter, actually. That might be correct. And go after Power Plant or Tower. I guess Power Plant. 2, 3, 4, 5. As much as I would like a green source to go into Rumble, I think Ghost Quarter is right. Alright, I shall pass to upkeep. I'll let them draw. Ghost Quarter to Power Plant and pass. This way, no Tron, no Ugin. Tis a forest. I guess that is the only downside if they have a Soin Myco spawn. So this way, if an Ugin's in hand, it's currently stuck in hand. It's on you, opponent. You could have grabbed the Liquid Metal Coating, but you decided to be cheeky with that Distorting Lens, which I appreciate. However, okay, so you should have stuck with the coating off the bat. There's no excuse for that. We have a threat on board, but if they just target our breeding pool, we're kind of in trouble. I really need something else. Well, what I need is to take down the Karn. Stone Brain, that's fine. Yeah, I need them not to think about the breeding pool. Activate Stone Brain? Wait, why do this though? Because now you have to block with the Flesh Raker. This feels way too aggressive. They could have held. I mean, if you want to give me the Flesh Rake, that's fine. That feels wrong. Consign the memory. You make me draw a card too, which is even better. Yeah. Ugin's Lab. Would have been a better card, but still. So again, I feel like they're just Ugin stuck in hand. It's the only thing I can think of why they would grab the Distorting Lens. Like I said, I do like it. It is very cheeky. Target breeding pool. My guy. 2, 3, 4, 5. I will return it to hand. Trigger. Draw. Dismember. So let's start off by dismembering the Flesh Rake. Flesh Rake down. Go to combat. Attack KGC. Let's rumble. Grab another Null Drift. Would have liked those commands, not gonna lie. Oh, Ugin Lab. Imprint a Null Drift. And pass. Next turn we can cast Null Drift. I mean, we're definitely at a dangerous life total for what it's worth, but we've interacted enough with their land base that I think they're just dead in the water. Draw. Oof. Could not have been a better draw right there, not gonna lie. We'll just go for the temple. And opponent scoops it up. And opponent scoops it up. We'll take the 2-0 win. Yeah, I just think opponent was a little bit too aggressive in the grand scheme. Especially with that Distorting Lens. It telegraphed way too much and just gave me the opening I needed to run away with the win. If they'd grabbed the Liquid Metal Coating, had targeted the breeding pool, I mean, we would have been going nowhere fast. Okay, I guess that's not true. I think the real kicker was them sacrificing their spawns for no reason. Like, they really should have just, I think, would have kept the card on board. I think it would have been GG's. But they're aggressive. They thought they may block with the Glaring Flesh Rake, I guess, and call it a day. But even then, that feels pretty bad, right? Glaring Flesh Rake is an amazing card, amazing value engine. So I think even then, it's not a great idea. But hey, mistakes happen. You learn from them. You move on. That said, we'll be back for match 2. Alright, and we're back for match 2. On the draw for game 1, we do got ourselves a Gemstone Caverns. I'll keep. What do we want to actually drop, though, is a good question. I think Utopia Sprawl here. We really want a Gemstone, Temple, Rumble? Maybe the Talisman, actually. Yeah, I think we actually dropped the Talisman. I guess there is the world redrawn to a lab? What's more likely, one of 4 labs or one of 9 forest? The 1 of 9 forest is more likely, so maybe the Talisman, because otherwise we're going Gemstone Temple into Rumble. or if we draw into a forest, gemstone forest into sprawl into rumble, and just ramp that much faster. So yeah, I think we do drop the talisman and pass. Hedge maze, okay. Ooh, it is Thopter combo. Well, let's go temp into rumble. Rumble into lab. And this will allow us to kick a Myco spawn next turn. So that will be pretty important. Four types in yard, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 will be too short after we cast Myco spawn. Yes. What you got, opponent? It's really strange. Gemstone's numbers somehow are slipping into pretty negative territory, but like starts like this still feel amazing. So I don't know. Maybe I'll ask Thinker to relook at the numbers just to make sure we're not wrong, or like there isn't a bug in the system, because I feel like every time I play Gemstone, like it's a solid start, but maybe not. Once again, that's the nice thing about data. You know, we feel a lot of things. Our memories are flawed. We think things are going well or working a certain way, but the data, as long as it's working properly, you know, is very definitive. It's very objective. It doesn't have feelings or emotions. And so it can look at it objectively, and we can look at that data objectively and go, well, this card's not doing well, and I guess we'll cut it. But it seems strange that Gemstone isn't doing well. It's odd. What's also odd is, what's our opponent doing? I feel like they should know. Also, do they have a companion? No, it's Bobble Effect. I was like, wait a second, what? Tis a Saga. Well, we're going to kick that Saga. Draw. Tis another lab. Well, if we draw into a 7-mana value spell, we have an Emrakul on turn 3. Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's kick that Saga out. I'll grab a Temple. And I will pass. Alright. Let's see a 7-mana value spell. It goes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. All we need is un Emrakul. Or is a 7-mana value spell. Rip. I mean, we are running 3 Emrakul. It's not the other one possibility. Do we need to display that fact? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I mean, I think I'd just bring back Emrakul anyways, right? Because in case we draw into a land. There's no reason to give them more information than we need to. So I think, at the same time, if they like Beseiju, the Ugin Lab with the other Emrakul, yeah, that's fine. We'll do this. And on end step, we'll return an Emrakul. That way, if we draw into a land, we can cast it. Otherwise, we have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana regardless, so we can cast pretty much anything in our deck, no matter what we draw into, with the exception of talismans and sprawls. We're set with. Another Saga. To Fairy. You want to bounce my Myco spawn? Oh, why not? Got to end step. And we'll return it to hand. And then draw. You gotta be joking me. What is with that? I'll attack the Teferi. And hold up the ability to respond. I said, the only thing we couldn't play is Sprawl or a, whatchamacallit? Talisman. Maybe, okay, so maybe there's a world where I should have fetched for a forest instead of a temple. And here's why. Actually, yes. So I think I wouldn't call it a misplay, but I think it's a different line that I probably should have recognized would have yielded better results. If I had simply grabbed a forest, we would have been able to cast Emrakul at this point. Okay, there we go. Lab, no imprint, because 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes, no imprint. Do I need to sweep? No. No, we do not. Our turn, comrade. Unless you have main deck consign, which would be a bit weird, I think. No. Really? Oh, okay, making a Saga token. That's fine. That's whatever. That's what I... Sword of the Meek. Oh, that's a problem. And opponent's gonna scoop. Because I got your own combo. Well, no, not really. I would still need an Urza, but we can pretty much just empty their board. Yeah, we're in a good spot. So I'll take that. So in for game 1. Thopter Foundry. Let's go to sideboard. And for Thopter Foundry, do I have it on my sideboard guide? I do not, no. Must be a low enough meta share. So I mean, Soulless Jailer, yes. Soulless Jailer is solid here. Dismember seems good here. Probably cut return. Nature's Claim's also solid, but is Stonebrain better? Because Nature's Claim can also hit Foundry. It can hit the sword, but that's kind of not tenable. It can hit Saga, which is a big part, right? But Brain can just straight up strip out the combo. So do we go 6 deep? I think so. And if we go 6 deep, I think we take the Brain. In that case, we want to keep Bog. I think we can cut the Ghost Court. They should have Grave Hate, so we cut 2 Emrakul and then 2 Writhing Chris on the draw. Yes, that seems correct. Because they should have main deck Grave Hate and definitely sideboard Grave Hate that they can grab off of the Saga. So Emrakul becomes much more fragile, and if they're grabbing Grave Hate when Emrakul's not even, you know, a significant option, I think that's fine. So I think this looks good. Yeah, Jailer just to stall, Brain to surgically extract, you know, the engine. It's not bad, not great. What makes it good? I guess a Soul Land, Malevolent Rumble. I think, like, it's keepable, right? It is keepable, don't get me wrong. Though you would need a land draw. Thinking. I mean, even... The thing is we only have 4 Soul Lands that would hit. Let's mulligan this one, I think. This one looks much better. You know, Misty Rainforest, Utopia Sprawl, Null Drift, Command. Do we drop the Temple or we drop the... I think we dropped the Lab, don't we? Yeah, let's do that. Drop the Lab. And done. And pass. Misty Rain, fetch. Breeding Pool, shock for a Tameo. Amber. Tameo. Okay, I was right. Pulpul. Yee. And an Emery? Okay, well now that's just excessive. Draw. Misty Rain. Fetch. I'm gonna go Forest because they do have Boseiju. So Forest for red. And pass. And pass. Attack with Tamiyo. Opal's now online. I mean, they could have a Urza here. Stock up, that's fine. If they Emery pick up Opal, that tells me they have a consign, I think. I wonder if I should command here or not. Shifting Woodland. They could go Lava Spur. Choose Opal, plays Opal. Yeah, this feels like a consign is in hand. Oh, no, never mind. Just gonna go Rumble. Probably grabs Thopter Foundry, since it's half of their engine. Though I guess they can always grab it back with Emery. Maybe they grab Bobble. Bobble actually might be better because they can grab back Thopter Foundry from Emery. Yes, they grab Bobble. And draw. Lab. So no matter what, we have a kicked Myco spawn. So I wonder if we hold up command and just strip out whatever Emery targets. At the same time, we could just go after Thopter Foundry now, and that makes it much more difficult for them to deal with it. So I think we actually do that. We'll ramp. We'll exile. Oh, I actually do wonder if I do want to exile Tamiyo, now I think about it. Because we have a guaranteed Myco. Let's grab Foundry. Bobble doesn't do much. So I wonder if we grab the Lava Spur Boots, actually. And done, so Tamiyo down, we'll pass. Next turn, we'll be able to kick a Myco spawn into a Bajuka Bog. Yeah, because they could have easily flipped Tamiyo next turn. And we don't want them grabbing back consign, now do we? So at most they grab back Bobble, or they grab back another Opal. I feel like they had consign, they would have held up a blue source. But they didn't for some reason. I guess there was another argument for going Soy Myco Spawn to Bajuka Bog and holding up the command to get rid of the Emery, but Emery without anything in grave kind of is a bit pointless, right? Whereas now Tamiyo's down. Another Tamiyo, that's unfortunate. Rumble? Maybe. They could flip the Tamiyo, actually, which is a little bit scary now that I think about it. They just cracked the clue, right? They haven't drawn their third card yet. Yeah. I mean, I think that's correct thing to do is to flip the Tamiyo. And they can get back the third artifact with Emery. So I think that would be correct. Crack the clue, flip the Tamiyo plus Tamiyo, tap Emery, grab back a Bobble. Blue. Stock up? Interesting. Why do that though? Okay, you got another stock up. You want to get rid of the shifting woodlands. And then Bajuka Bog. I wonder if maybe grabbing the Opal may have been a better choice than the Lava Spur. The Lava Spur does save me from like a hasty construct, mind you, but the Opal does mean that they grab that and hold that. It's likely they have a consign, which I don't really want to see. Well, like I said, I'm just surprised they're not trying to flip the Tameo. Hollowed Fountain, Shock. Crack the clue. Crack the clue. You know you want to. I mean, the other option is to... I mean, yeah, if you have a consign, crack the clue. Grab Opal. Okay, so you have the Hollow Fountain untapped. Yeah, that... Okay, that tells me you have a consign, but you can only consign once, so this is fine. Draw. Lab Imprint. And let's kick the Myco. You're going to need to counter the Exile trigger. Really? Well, that's just surprising. You're really going to counter the search. I mean, I think that actually is fair and correct. Because if I'm able to search up a Bajuka Bog, you're in trouble. They also could be under the misconception that I'm going to go for an Emrakul here. Because right now I have 6, 9 including Yard. So if I go up to 11, a Soul Line gets me the Emrakul theoretically. They could be under the misconception, but that's fair given last game, right? Interesting. Come on, give me my Bajuka Bog. They have to have the consign, right? Weird. Why else would they have the Hollow Fountain untapped? Bajuka Bog target you. Wild. Okay. So yeah, why Hollow Fountain untapped then? Why not leave the Mox Opal untapped? Just the... I mean... I don't know. It's weird. Okay. I guess they would be able to leave the Amber untapped, right? Tis a Saga. Tis a Rumble. Rumble finds... Probably leave Sword and Meek in the yard. You don't need that in hand. Grab what? Otawara, Mr. Rainforest. Choose Otawara. Okay. And we'll attack at Tameo. Which they will plus. Tameo is still a bit of a concern for me. I'd love to see a Devourer off the top, methinks. I mean, you could grab back Sword of the Meek. Kind of surprised you didn't return, or you didn't return Malevolent Rumble to hand with Tameo. Draw. Temp. Let's start off with a Rumble. There's Devourer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll grab Devourer. Oh, hold on one second. Almost tapped too much. Exile the Tameo. Celestial may have been the right play. So this is a consign. Yes, we'll go to combat and swing at Tamiyo then. Bottom line is we can't let Tamiyo ult. Well, that is unfortunate, but it gets a consign out of the way, so I'll take that as a W at the very least. Next turn we can play the Null Drift. A -4 consign. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I guess that's fine. Thopter Foundry. So now all you need is the Urza, right? Once you have Urza, then you're pretty much set. Everybody grabs Amber. And now I can do it again. Draw. Dismember. I mean, I want to get rid of that Tamiyo. Dismembering the Thopter does nothing, does it? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so nothing. In that case, we'll return Null Drift to hand. Let's at least make them use the consign to memory. Cast. Tis a Null Drift. Yep. Which means now they don't have the mana to make a construct. How does this read? Whenever a 1/1 creature you control enters, you may return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield, then attach it to that creature. So they'll sacrifice, trigger, they can do it twice. Wooded Foothills and yeah. I had a thought there for a second, but I was like, maybe not. End step, they're going to fetch, right? So let's just wait a moment. Don't need to wait. I was like, do I need to wait? No, I don't need to wait. Goodbye, Emery. Pass. Flooded Strand, fetch. Hedge Maze, yep. So what I need now is like a Soulless Jailer. Make some flyers. Emery's still down. We'll put a pause on end step. So, actually, I should respond to the Saga trigger after they decided to make a construct or tap it, because on the off chance they needle my Wooded Foothill. Now, is that likely? No. Is it a possibility? Yes, as we very much witnessed in the other day's match against Affinity. So we'll fetch. In Commercial District, trigger. 11 Rumble on top, and pass. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I mean, yeah, if we find an Evercool, then we're in a good spot. Of course, a one of. At the same time, I feel like it'd be smart of them to go for some Grave Hate. Tormod's Crypt, Relic Progenitus, etc., right? I feel like not doing so would be a mistake. I guess they could also go Lava Spur Boots to haste the construct. I don't think that's right. I think Grave Hate really should be their priority. A Bauble. Weird. Target self, so they have a fetch. Light blue. Oh. For Green, white for Rumble. Probably grabs an Emery. Either that or a Saga. Saga's strong, of course. Chooses Emery. Okay. Yep, that checks out. Takes up Tamio. Plays Emery, yes or no? And if they play the Emery, it demonstrates to us that they don't have a consign. I mean, we already know 2 of their 3 cards in hand. So they only have 1 unknown. Yeah, Tamio's very well positioned right now. Plays Otawara. Still 1 unknown. If they play they can play the Emery now and feign, or hold up a consign. But I think we just play into it regardless, right? Here's the Emery. 2 consigns. They'll attack for 2 in the air. Cannot block. Alrighty. Draw a card. Now 2 unknowns and draw. Let's cast the Malevolent Rumble. Soulless Jailer, Devourer. The problem is they're 1 Urza away from just winning. So Jailer might be the right move. The only issue is then they start beating our face in with that godforsaken construct, right? But I mean, they're going to do that regardless. But Jailer might give us more time. Would it though? I mean, we draw into, let's say, an Emrakul, and then it gets consigned into nothing. It also could swing Mega Spawn. You've already have a Jukabog, though. That's not a good option. The Devour gets rid of Tamio, at least. And I think we force them to just have it. We'll go Devourer. So let's go 6, 7. This way we can also double block if they attack with a construct. Okay. Make more flyers. And no attacks. And pass. So that tells me they don't have a consign, which is good. So whatever I top deck, we can play. Targets Mishra Bobble. Bobble targets self. You do have the fetch. You'll fetch. Shuffle it up. Fails to find. Interesting. Haywire Mite can get rid of the Utopia Sprawl. Not a big deal. Well, double blocking really doesn't seem too great right now, so let's block with the Sowing Myco Spawn. Hold back the Devourer. I go down to what, 8? Hurry up. Trigger. Draw. Let's see an Emrakul. Haywire Mite. Target Sprawl. That's fine. And I can cast anything in my deck right now, including another Utopia Sprawl. Dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Dude, I was about to say, do you wanna? You can. Can you kill me? You can do it 3 more times. Oh, I think I'm dead, aren't I? Yeah. Look at that. Because you'll have 8 flyers. Yep. Yeah, I guess I could have held that back, but I think they would have done this regardless, right? So moot point is moot. Go for red. And we'll hold back and let them just attack. I mean, they are at a significant time deficit, so... And block here, and block there, and then pass. And to 0 we go. So maybe Jailer would have bought me more time. Lost for game 2. But then again, like I said, having Temur on board, just grabbing back consigns would just be so bad. Drop the gemstone, bring back in an Emrakul. I mean, I guess we could bring back in a Chrysalis. Maybe that's right. Yeah, we'll bring back in the Chrysalis. And run it back. And on the play for game 3, we can keep this. Forest, Sprawl, red, pass, and pass. We'll go Temple, Talisman into Drift to try and find ourselves another soul land for Breaker on 3. Yeah, it seems right. Flooded Strand, fetch for Tamiyo. Breeding Pool, Shock, Bobble, Tamiyo. Okay, it might actually be Emery if double Bobble Emery. Yeah. It is an Emery. Mox Opal, double Rumble. Bobble, fetch, target me. And trigger. Draw. Devourer, you say. Cast Talisman. Temple. Evoke. Draw 2, and we'll pass in full. Ooh, this all looks excellent. So we can go Soin Mycospawn, kicked, Bajuka Bog, we can go World Breaker, we can go Devourer, exile the Emery, which might be right. It's like, who cares what's in their graveyard right now if we just get rid of the Emery? If they play like a Saga, for example, then you'd definitely want to kick. I'm surprised they wanted to go... They wanted to activate Bobble. Unless they already have an Opal in hand? Maybe. Blue. For Tamiyo. Okay. Flooded Strand. At the same time, Soin Mycospawn kick would be really nice. The main reason being, of course, is because then it's 3 triggers that they have to contend with, versus Devour, it's only 1. So of course, the Devour being on board is nice, but the Soin Mycospawn, I think, might be correct. So let's start off by playing Talisman. Will give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, Talisman. Temple. Kick a Mycospawn. Do you have a consign? Doesn't look like it. Or either that or you're holding it. You'll be able to grab the Opal with the Emery, so we're going to Bajuka Bog, target you. So they'll likely try and flip the Tamiyo by activating both Baubles, would be my guess. I feel like they don't have consign, so even if they flip the Tamiyo, we'll just devour it instead. Hedge Maze. mean, depending on if they do make another land drop, we could just go World Break. There's the Opal. There's an Amber. Jeez. Talk about sandbagging. Attack. So they will flip the Tamiyo, I think. That leaves them with 1 mana up. Yes. Bobble target self. And draw. Tamiyo flip. Saga. Saga is an issue, don't get me wrong. Draw, dismember. Now that is fascinating. Do we devour the Tamiyo is the question. Or do we world break the Saga? Let's start by playing Verdant Cat. And then attacking the Tamiyo with the Myco Spawn. Trigger. Okay. I think I'm gonna world break. World break, target Saga. Do you have the consign? You do. So you're right for attacking Tamiyo. I'll dismember Emery. Bobble, target me. We're gonna shuffle up anyway, it's a bit of a moot point. And next turn we can devour the Tamiyo if needed. Saga trigger, Tamiyo plus. Bobble. Hollow Fountain, Shock. Could be an Urza. If it isn't Urza, we have to devour. That does mean we have to leave the Tamiyo to minus, which I don't like. Thopter Foundry. Okay, so Saga. I'll fetch with the Verdant Cat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually. Trigger Stonebrain. Put that on top. Will target me, so they see the brain now. So I will cast Stonebrain, and then we will activate Stonebrain targeting you. What do? Saga, make a construct. That is fine. I'll name Sword of the Meek, right? That's the right card. They have one in exile? No. Let me confirm that this is the right card. Magic. Scryfall. Sword of the Meek. No, not meme. Meek. Yeah, Sword of the Meek. Really, only running 2. That's kind of wild. I guess it makes sense with the sagas. I do wish I had one more land. At this point, I'll pass. No attacks, obviously. And we'll put a pause on end step. Saga trigger. I guess actually make a construct. I probably should have noted whether or not they have Grave Ape. I'm just going to do this now. Sacrifice that. And we're good. I guess they could haste the construct, couldn't they? Yeah, that's an option. The constructs are a genuine issue, and Tanya can grab back a consign. Yeah. This could pose a problem. Actually, they might just have lethal. Ooh. Yeah. See, on one hand, we give them the combo. On the other hand, we die to constructs. Ooh. Well, now that's just unfortunate. Now, isn't it? I should have thought that one through, shouldn't I have? We'll go after the construct, but of course, it's not going to matter. I'll just consign it. Yeah, I think I made a misplay. I think I was too focused on not giving them the combo. I didn't really math out what the following turns would look like, right? If I would have devoured the Tamiyo, or if I would have World Breakered the Saga, maybe that would have been the better play. No, because I still would have ended up with this awkward consign situation. They could have also always have picked up the combo. So maybe the right move was just to devour Tamiyo. Yeah, they make constructs. We can then block both and then world break the final construct and call it a day. Maybe that would have been right. Well, now I'm just not sure. I mean, at the end of the day, the line we took led to a loss, right? So that was clearly the wrong line that we took. So the question then becomes which line was correct, returning World Breaker and casting it and exiling the Saga, which would have let them only create one construct, would have also cut them out the sort of the meek in the instance that they didn't have one in hand or drew one. So that would have cut them out of the Thopter Foundry combo. By doing that, though, it allows them to pick up a consign to memory with Tamiyo, versus if I would have played the Devourer, we could have then exiled the Tamiyo, making so that they couldn't pick up the consign. They, of course, then are able to make two constructs and haste them. We can block one trading. I guess not, because they would have had Thopter Foundry. Yeah, that's actually a bit tricky, right? Because, yeah, they would have been able to make the constructs bigger. No, because they have to sacrifice an artifact to make an artifact. Well, I guess they could have sacrificed the boots. Because if I would have blocked it, let's say Myco Spawn on the 7/6 and the Devourer on the 6/6. I guess in that case, the right block order would be Devourer on the 7/6, Myco Spawn on the 6/6. Oh no, I guess they still could have sacrificed the boots and made them both 7/7s. Ooh. Interesting. Not to mention if they had Grave Fate, which I didn't note for some reason. I should have. And that would have left me the top deck. Oh, I'm not sure now. I think that no matter what, like, I think, so no matter what, the line I took was wrong. I think either regardless, either the Devourer line or Worldbreaker line would have given me more turns at the very least. Yeah. I'm not sure which one would be right, though. That's interesting. Because we knew what other 4 cards they had in hand. Tamiyo, Stock Up, Rumble. Very interesting game state. I'm not sure I truly had a way out as I continued to analyze it. But I can say out of the 3 lines I had available to me, I think I took the worst one by going Stone Brain. Yeah. Alright. Well, good to know. Things to recognize, but best not to overanalyze because the other 2 lines lead into very theoretical territory. I think the Devour line may have been the next best option, which allowed me to then, recast the Breaker. But it still could have been really ugly regardless. I think the Devour line would have been the best, actually, now I think about it. Because I don't think I recall seeing Grave Hate. You Devour, target Tamiyo, will block both if they haste the second one right. And then we can always grab back the World Breaker, play the World Breaker, exile one of them. I think they do outgrow the Breaker pretty quickly, but we can continue to return it, so that becomes less of an issue, and being able to recast it. So I think that line at least gets us additional turns. Where going World Breaker would have put us into a very similar position as we were now with Tamiyo grabbing back the consign. So yeah, I think Devour, Tamiyo, play the Stone Brain, pass. I mean, they might then be incentivized to go for, like, I don't know, a Haywire Might to exile the Brain. So probably even playing the Brain wouldn't have been correct. Very interesting. But that said, we'll be back for match 3. Alright, and we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. Let's take a look-see. We will keep. I will pass. We'll play Lab into Talisman. Flooded Strand. Sacred Foundry, so looking like Energy, if I had to guess. Otherwise, I guess it could be Ruby Storm. Energy, okay. Not thrilled to see Ragavan off the bat. Null Drift into Talisman and pass. And pass. What you grab off the top? Ooh, I would have liked that, friend. Thank you. Will be able to clear the Ragavan on anything you played this turn. Isn't a Johnny? Yeah, that would have been fantastic. So I will play the Forest. We'll Utopia Sprawl the Forest for red. Play non-kicked Mycospawn. And grab... You could grab a Commercial District. Just set up for next turn. Might not be a bad idea. Because right now we can theoretically cast anything. Even if they were straight a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We would be short one, but I think District is right. I want to set up. Yeah. I mean, Mycospawn to Mycospawn, not bad. Also, we can't block the Cat, but we can clearly block the Ragavan. If they have a Galvanic Discharge, that would be unfortunate. They did find their second land. Shocking for Static Prison, target Myco. Oofta. So we'll take the Mycospawn off top. Attack for 5, down to 12. We'll kick the Myco spawn. 2, 4, 6. And hold up Drift. Plane. Ooh, that's bad news, bears. So they'll sack the cat, ping me down to 11. 0 Johnny, put me down to 9. And a theoretical 7. Next turn they can 0 Johnny, hit the Myco spawn. I need to draw into something like a Devourer. Devourer, Rumble. Yeah. 'Tis a problem. Down to 9. And we draw. Ghost Quarter's not gonna cut it. Ooh. So... Well, okay, so hold the phone for a second. Sure, we kick the Sacred Foundry. Fine, whatever. We grab a soul land, okay. They 0 Johnny, kill the Myco spawn, and then swing in for 4. Put me down to 5. And I guess I'm not dead, right? Yeah. Swing in for 4. And can deal me an additional 3. So I think this is right. I'll grab another temp. I actually might need to grab the Cavernous Souls or Breeding Pool. Main reason being that if we want to evoke... We'll go Temple, because 2... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Fine, we'll go Temp. I have ideas. They might not be good ideas, but we'll find out. We'll pass and pause on end step. Because yeah, Mega Spawn's guaranteed to die. I'll put types in yard to 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yes. Oh, I could actually... Oh, I actually have an idea. Yeah, we can add additional... Wait, what? Oh. Ping? Why do that? That was weird. Okay. I mean, you should have sacked the first Ragavan first. Ragavan hit. Hits a Writhing Chris. That's fine. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes. Okay, so we can return Drift. We're at a theoretical 2. Yikes, man. So we can push ourselves down to 1. Draw 2. There's Devourer. The only problem is now, even with that, we exile a Johnny, they'll attack in and then ping us for 1. So we just lose as a result. Close but no cigar. Alright. So lost for game 1. Let's move on to game 2. And bring in Dismember K return, remove from side. We can drop the Gemstone, drop the Ghost Court, and drop an Emrakul. And run it back. Yeah, we're dropping Emrakul here primarily because they run Thraben Charms. So they have some main deck and sideboard graveyard hate. Been seeing a lot more Charmal, so let's play around that. I guess we really just should be playing around Charmal in the same breath we end up playing around Molten Rain. So we'll have to keep that in mind as we're sequencing our lands. Try not give them an advantage if possible. Because, yeah, they bring in Charmal, potentially some number of Molten Rain or Blood Moon. I stand by the fact that Blood Moon's arguably one of the worst effects against Eldrazi. On the play for game 2. So we have 9 hits off the top for green sources, and an additional 7 off of soul lands, so we'll keep this. Temple, pass. Yes, it is a bit risky, though, I will admit. Just the wee bit. We'll pass. Marsh Flats, fetch. Thopter Foundry, shock. Guide of Souls. And draw. Dismember, yeesh. Yeah, we had so many good hits off the top, and we found none of them. I will hold the Dismember. Draw. Let's see what you play. Shock. Tis an Ajani. Tis an Ocelot Pride. Let's Dismember now. And pass. Pride hits the board. Do you have another Pride? Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Draw. You got to be joking me. Okay, well, at this point, I just need a cycle. Really hoping that we wouldn't get to that point, but here we are. Well, yeah, we're dead, I think. I mean, it was a gamble, don't get me wrong, but it's also like I had, what was the number? 17, 16 hits off the top. I mean, I'll take those odds. It's roughly, I don't know, 30% to get the right hits for what I needed in that moment. God, you're a bit late. Red or blue? We'll go red. And pass. I mean, next turn we can play a Myco, but that's doing nothing. Best thing we could draw off the top is the return, I think. 2, 4, 5. Yeah, a Malevolent Rumble probably won't cut it. I mean, we can make number of card types in yard up to 7. 5 minus 1. 4 plus 7, 11. We need a. So if we hit a rumble off the top, we'll specifically, very specifically, need to get 7 types in a yard. Oh, Molten. Sorry, I think both my opponent and I were very confused. I think they double tapped their own land by mistake. And Molten Rain themselves. I'll take it. I'm still alive because of it. Alright. So either we need to hit Magic Christmas Land, Rumble, or we find a return. That's neither. We can block a 2/2, and that's 4/6. Yeah, you got it. You got it. We will concede. Damn. Well, I mean, sometimes you play the odds and sometimes the odd plays you. You can't really say much about that. That said, we'll be back for match 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the draw for game 1. Yeah, we'll keep this. We have plenty of good hits off the top. K-Command, Rumble, Myco Spawn. Looks like it's a mirror match though. And they are on the play, which makes this hand feel a whole lot worse. Let's go temp and pass. Pass. Yeah, it's a mirror match. I mean, if they have a Myco Spawn on 3, this is pretty much a GG's. Of course, we will play it out, but it ain't looking pretty, especially as they have a K-Command in hand. I think Chris ain't gonna cut it. And bring Emrakul and pass. They'll play their K-Command. Yep, for X equals 2. So like I said, if they have a sowing Myco Spawn, that might very well be the game. We'll hold. Shifting Woodlands is interesting. You don't see that all too often anymore. Personally, I don't think that it's playable or as playable. Oh. Well, now this is interesting. Yes, that resolves. That's fascinating. Huh. Utopia Sprawl for red and pass. And hold. Bird and cat. Please tell me you don't have the Mega Spawn now. Of course you would have drawn into it. Utopia Sprawl. Why would you not... So, I mean, I guess they don't have any playables in hand if they do that. Draw. Null Drift. Fetch with the Misty Rain. Play a forest. And let's start with a world break. But we're going to have to do something about the Sire 7 Death soon. Sire 7 Death is unironically just super good into the mirror. It genuinely makes me sweat. So that's 7. No blocks since it has Menace. Down to 5. So we have 7, 9. So we can cast both Null Drifter and Writhing Bris. Let's Ugin Lab. Imprint Drift. Let's just do it this way. Triggers. Trigger 1, always resolve. Trigger 2. Cast the Null Drift. Draw 2 and we'll pass him full here. No attacks. I mean, we have enough to triple block the Sire and not die. And also take it down. And they could have something Myco Spawn here. If they also have a K-Command Exile Chrysalis, that could be a problem. Something Myco, but not kicked. Why? This confuses me. Stomping around shocked. What? Triple block? What? Yeah. Oh, that's brutal. I think I still kill it. Oh no, is it short? It is. We're short by one. Well, damn. Ba, 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 ba. Let's rumble question mark. Rumble. Myco. We could kick a Myco. One, two, three, four, five. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ugh, we're short. So what's the game plan then? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we could, because 9 minus 2 is 7. So we could then Myco spawn and kick out the forest. Yes. Let's move forward with that plan. I suppose the alternative goes 4. Yeah, I think I have to do this. Fetch down to 4, grab a forest. Trigger 1. Trigger 2. And then we will kick their forest. And then Bajuka Bog. Bajuka Bog, target you. That gets rid of the return. And we'll pass. So we're not dead yet. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yes. No attacks, that tells me a lot. 2, 6. So they do have enough for a kicked Myco. And if we're able to resolve this Emrakul, I think we just win. You confirm 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yes. Return to hand. I think we actually can hold up 1. Yes. Could double trigger, but I don't think that's necessary. No. And no. Triggers. Always yield. And cast Talisman. And then our turn, comrade. An Emrakul of their own. So I was right. Do need to note that. Draw Temple. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeesh. Go to combat. attack, attack. So what we can do is go to blocks, and we will block, block, and block, and just spread the damage out. I guess actually I don't even need to do that, do I? I just double block as ward, duh. And then block. Not ward, menace. Ignore me. And then what I'll do in addition to this, 1, 2, 3, 4, no. Oh, I don't have delirium, do I? Damn, one short. I was going to shifting woodlands into wooded foothills and fetch it, but we're short one. Unfortunate. Well, at that point, I will pass. And pass. Nothing else to do. The good news is we can empty their yard of the command. Drifter's fine. Draw 2. Probably should have done it in the other order, but they choose not to do it regardless. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Do you need to be worried about that? So I'm tempted to exile Drifter, exile a yard. The alternative is that I play, let's say, Null Drift. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I need to get rid of some stuff in yard. Well, in that case, let's first off and foremost attack and attack, hold back Chrysalis, see if they block. Could I actually have killed them in retrospect? 20, 25, plus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 25 plus 18, 35. No, I'd be shy by 1 when I die. Oh, I did have the win. Whoops. That would have been good to note, but we messed up there. So to blocks, on the 24, I'll cast. So we'll exile, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Yeah, I should have just attacked all. And done. Windswept Teeth and pass. So yeah, I did have the win. I should have counted. Whoopsie. Malevolent Rumble. Into Temple. 1, 2, 3. They have it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're too short. Sanctum of Ugin. Yeah, if I lose this, it really did come down to me just not paying attention. Yeah, because I could have exiled the Drifter, made all the spawns, attacked in full. Yeah, that's a rough one. Pause on end step. Fetch. Commercial district. Trigger. Sprawl to yard. And return Drifter to hand. We could simply play the Drift. 3, 9. Yeah, 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Internally 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We could play the World Breaker. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. Sacrifice the Ugin Lab. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get rid of the temp. No. And thinking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm actually going to say yes on this one, funny enough. Go to combat, swing in the air for 13. And at this point we'll pass in full. And pass. I guess if I had attacked... Yeah, no, it still would have been short. Oh, actually, I could have forced him to block by evoking the Null Drift. Yeah. Yeah, I still need to get better at, like, I feel like that's a weak point of mine, is, like, the math with Writhing Chrysalis. If there's a command, they find a temple. No, they don't. Okay. I mean, we can clear the drifts. That's not a problem. And I think we just have lethal at that point. Because we play Drifter, return, clear, and then attack in. Yeah, okay. So we did win that, admittedly. However, but we definitely could have won that like 2 turns ago. Much more handily, just by exiling the Drifter, making the spawns, growing the Chrysalis, and winning. So I'll bring in Consign. Do I bring in Nature's Claim? Let's take a look. See, what do I say here? Yeah. Let's bring in the Nature's Claim. And we'll cut... What do we cut? Writhing Chris and 2 Devourers. Yes, that makes sense to me. Because Devourer's really not doing much. And you can bring in the Writhing Chris when we cut the Gemstone. We can keep this, yeah? And pass. Utopia Sprawl for red. And draw. This looks pretty solid. Red. Pass. And it comes down to whether or not they have a turn 3 Myco spawn, right? Temple. If they pass, they have the Consign. There's the Chrysalis Stone Rain. Oh, Jesus. Well, that's a problem. Ugin Lab, Breaker, and hope for a Temple, I suppose. Pass. And hold. Commercial. Chrysalis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So getting rid of a spawn does really nothing. We'll pass. And draw. I mean, I can command X Swan with the Misty Rain. And also threaten a consigned memory. So probably correct to just hold the Misty Rain. Yeah, and on the play, Stone Rain is very strong. Oof, Chrysalis. Also very strong. Not Chrysalis, Null Drift. They'll attack with Chrysalis. At that point, we'll put a pause on end step. Fetch with the Misty Rain for a Breeding Pool Shock. Commercial District, Scry Draw, and Ramp. We are looking for a soul land. That's not a soul land. I'll put that on bottom. Draw. Not it either. Draw. Yeesh. So probably best for us to just to cast a Myco Spawn here. We could hold the blue source. I think we should, just to threaten. They have a consign. Shoot. Consign the trigger, gives me the body, pass. And pass. I mean, this looks like a GG's between the Drifter and the Chrysalis. As we're forced to sack the spawn here, otherwise we really have nothing going for us. Down to 5. Kicked Myco Spawn, kicks the World Break. I mean, they call our bluff on the consign. And they're right for it. And at that point, I truly have nothing. Unfortunate. Yeah, that Stone Rain was just brutal. Alright. Well, let's move on to game 3 sideboard. And I'll bring back in a Writhing Chris in replacement of a Gemstone and run it back. Yeah, I've given thought to maybe having a Sire 7 Deaths on the play for game 3. This hand's a bit fragile. Actually, it's kind of garbage. We need a land, and yeah, we have plenty of hits off the top. I don't want to exactly lose to that again. At the same time, I mean, like, we have two tapped lands, so we have 19 hits. I mean, it's like a 33% chance per draw. Do I want to take that risk again? I'm gonna mulligan. This hand looks much better by comparison. We'll drop a Drifter. Play Forest, Sprawl, Red, Lab, Drift. Red, pass, and pass. So Malevolent Rumble or 2 Writhing Chris? Okay, well now I'm actually tempted to go Rumble as it's guaranteed to resolve. But I do like the idea of putting a threat on board. And pass. Fetch. Commercial District. We have a kicked Mycospawn. That tells me that they don't have a lab in hand. We'll hold. Alright, time to see if you have a consign. Breeding pool. I mean, we could Rumble first. Let's breeding pool Shock. Rumble. World Break. Trigger 1. Always yield. Trigger 2. Trigger 3. Kick a Mycospawn. Do you have a consign? And we'll grab a temp. And go to combat. Fetch. Tapped. And attack. I mean, I think Mycospawn into World Break should just end it. Seems like that is slower hand. We'll go out there Shifting Woodland. Draw a second World Break. They don't even know what World of Hurt is coming. Yeah, like I said, I don't really think Shifting Woodland is the move right now. But not sure. I mean, at the same time, I think Emrakul is a bit weak right now just because of like incidental graveyard hate. And there's a lot of it between Relic, between Thraben Charm, etc., right? So I think that Shifting Woodland's a bit weak. At the same time, like Gemstone's weak. Maybe replace that with Gemstone with Shifting Woodlands. That's a thought. But either ways, solid match against Eldrazi Ramp. And we'll be back for match 5. Alright, we're back for match 5 on the draw for game 1. I will keep ideally we're able to go turn 2 Chrysalis and a turn 3 kicked Mycospawn. Reveal and pass. Okay, so it looks like Tron. So in that case, yeah, we definitely want to imprint you. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. I needed a green source. We could go Rumble and try and go turn 3 that way. Otherwise, we can go Temp. Yeah, this is interesting. Because 1, 2... I will go Eldrazi Temp. Because we could always draw into the green source. Otherwise, we'll play Temp into Mycospawn, because that is Tron on 3. Draw. It is a gemstone, so in that case, we play temp. I will cast the Myco Spawn. Can we go Ghost Quarter? Ghost Quarter. And pass. Draw. He didn't exile anything, so I'll go after the power plant and pass. No Tron for you, friend. So now we need a soul land for Drift or a green source for Chrysalis. This does look like colorless since we see the swamp, so I'm not afraid of an opposing Myco Spawn, which is good. I think the main thing they can cast right now might be a Thought Knot if they imprint this, which they do have the Ugin. Okay. Karn. Karn does make my life difficult. A plus Karn. Draw. Another Myco Spawn would have been good. Play the Gemstone. Attack KGC and pass. And hold. I need KGC down ASAP. I mean, what do they grab here? I guess they could grab Bridge, but that only puts them down to 3. I now just desperately need a green source so I can kick this Myco Spawn. Yeah, because if they just go Liquid Metal, then it's whatever. KGC plus, they're buying time, they play the mine. And draw. Sanctum. 2, 4, 6. Attack at Karn. Karn down to 1. Need that Karn dead now. If they had a command, they would have used it to block. Ugh, they have Tron now. There's the Sire as a blocker for Karn. So again, we need a 7-mana value spell ASAP. Tick up. Draw. You got to be joking me. 2, 4, 6. We're short across the board. Oh boy, oh boy. I mean, I knew Karn would have been an issue, but I also expected that after so many draws, we'd find a godforsaken green source, or more accurately, a green land. No attacks. Worst case scenario here is that they have the lens inside, and Karn minus for lens. Lens targets land. I guess that does give me a green source, though, if they do that. But Ugin would be able to exile a land as a result. No blocks. Down to 12. It seems all too familiar. Plays Ugin, so they don't have it. Well, that works out. Imagine they just plus then. Yes, draw a card, gain 3. KGC plus. Mind Stone, that's fine. Green land? Actually, yes, that does work. Name Eldrazi. Kick. Green. 2, 3, 4, 6. And we already killed a power plant, so we'll go after the power plant again. Let's see. We don't need the green source necessarily anymore, so I think we just go temp. And then pass. Of course, we need to deal with that Ugin ASAP. and pass. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take down the 5. Oh. What's my play? Here's the question. Plays a waste. Ugin makes 3. What? Mystic Forge? Oh, yeah. Did not think about the walk-in ballista, but that is exactly 5. You got it. Damn. So I needed to block. Ah, rip. So that's good to know. I guess I should have probably considered it as an option in Tron. Ballista is more likely as a result. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We would have been off on the Emrakul. Malevolent Rumble wouldn't have helped. I guess a Kozilek's command would have, though. Because it's mana neutral. No, I guess not. Yeah. Sprawl definitely wouldn't have. Alright, 2 sideboard we go. So this is Eldrazi Tron. Loss for game 1. We'll bring in Consign to Memory. Did I forget to bring in Dismember against Tron last time? I feel like I did. Remove. No, I didn't. That's right. I think I dismembered the Glaring Flesh Rake. We'll cut... Let's see. But Jukabog's not needed. And we can cut a Devourer. And run it back. Yeah, maybe we do need to play like a copy of Sire. Because that would help out that match a lot. Cannot keep this. Mulligan. I'll keep this. What do we want to drop, though, is the question. Thinking that we might drop the Emrakul. As much as I would love to keep it. Reveal Devourer. Trigger. Soul Land. Consign. Chrysalis. Might be correct. Just go Forest so that way we can play the Rumble. Play Temple, pass, and pass. Trigger. Sire for Brain. Or Mind Stone, rather. Everflowing Chalice. Was not expecting that. Into map as well. Jeez, okay. Everflowing Chalice is relevant. Another Emrakul. I think we have to go lab, though. And hope that we can top deck something like a Sowing Miko Spawn. Otherwise, we do have command X equals, what, 3? Map fetch for Eldrazi Temp. So that tells me I have a Glaring Flesh Rake. Either that or their command X equals 1 target spawn, which is not a bad idea. We've presented a potential line for a Sowing Myco spawn. Yep, that is smart. That's a good heads up play. 2, 4, 5, 6. Oh, they scried. Interesting. I will imprint Devourer and then pass. Ugin Lab. Worst case scenario here is a Karn into a Brain, actually. Or not a Brain, a Liquid Metal. Yeah. There's KGC. Minus for liquid metal. Yep, there's the coding. Yep. We'll then hold up the blade to respond until end step. Cast command. None of this really makes the cut, so bottom all. Especially not you. Yeesh. And draw. Two, four, so 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna cast another command. Let's see, talisman down, talisman down. I don't foresee me having green and red. So I think we bottom the Chris. And I think we top drift. Bottom forest. Right now we have no blue, so bottom consign. Top the drift. Local metal. Sanctum. Cast drift. Null drift first, then sanctum. Yes. I will grab... Do we want to grab a World Breaker or do we want to grab an Emrakul? 5... The thing is we grab Emrakul, they're just going to grab a Tormod script, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it might be correct to go for a World Breaker, 2, 4, but then we're not going to have enough mana, are we? Regardless. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have cracked the Sanctum in retrospect. I will go with a 2. Maybe go sign Mycospawn. I'll go sign Mycospawn. And pass. And pass. Because, yeah, if they play a Sire, we're in trouble. Dismember. Even more in trouble. That's fine. Yeah, I think the Soin Megaspawn may have been correct. And draw. So at least then we can try and recoup our losses. And temple. And pass. We need KGC down. K command. X equals 3. Looking like it. Yeah, I think they might have this one. I'm not sure we can get out of this because 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. They'll be able to play the Sire next turn as well. And like I said, I can't really compete with that all too easily. Oofda. Uh-huh. Oh, Karn Lib. That's funny. Yep. Now they have double... They can double dip on that. Oof. Well, we would have been able to play the World Breaker if it was only a temple, right? Because we'd have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's what I was hoping for, but now we're looking pretty grim. I mean, we can attack Soin Mega Spawn at KGC, but those block of a spawn. Karn Libs. I mean, neither is a good option. Yeah, I don't foresee a way out of this. Ugin Lab. We'll Imprint Drift. I'll pass. Because, yeah, they just return Sire to hand, right? And so I can't attack at that point. Emrakul's off the table entirely. You got it. I have no recourse here. Unfortunate. Yeah, the Karn Lib really sealed the deal there. I was trying to maybe accelerate fast enough into Null Drifter or World Breaker to at least get rid of the coding to maybe give me a turn, but wasn't even able to get that. Unfortunate. Overall, some good games. I think the only one where I lost a match as a result of a misplay or missequence was against Thopter Foundry in Game 3. I mean, I already went over that game in pretty good detail post-game, so I don't think I need to go over it now. But in retrospect, I should have thought a bit more ahead to a hasty construct. And not to mention, like, Consign just locking me out of the game. So Devourer being cast to exile the Tamiya definitely was the play. But that said, overall, I mean, the deck still feels solid. I'm very happy with it, so I cannot complain. We've been getting a lot of 3-2s and 5-0s, so getting a 2-3 here was bound to happen at some point. But with that being said, as always, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please do consider hitting the like button. If you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or just some general feedback, it is always appreciated. For as much as I hope that you'll learn from me in both my success and failure, I hope to learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. With that being said, folks, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!